DNA Video Productions is a full-service video producer with a fleet of drones, 4K, and HD cameras, as well as a crew of video operators. We handle commercial and residential real estate videos, as well as events for promotional purposes. We create book trailers, both live-action and running stills, music videos, and website videos. We also film series shorts for online distribution and are currently involved in filming a political parody. We specialize in low-cost movie making. Call DNA Video Productions at 941-748-6865 or visit our website at www.dnavideoproductions.com. That's www.dnavideoproductions.com. Thank you. Our sponsor this month is Published, an affiliate of Village Voices. Published offers all author services from writing tips, critiques, manuscript evaluations, and editing, as well as tips to help you become published. If you prefer to self-publish, purchase the step-by-step book on publishing through Amazon, or purchase services a la carte, from formatting to creating custom covers, or even tips to gather endorsements. The staff is headed by 2 professional writers. After your books are published, either trade paper, electronically, or both, purchase marketing tips, web services, book trailers, or turn your book into an audiobook. Publish provides all your writing, publishing, and marketing needs. So give them a call at 941-748-6865. Contact them online at dgould497@aol.com or go to the website at www.publishedavillagevoices.webs.com. Welcome to Culture Coast. The intro you just heard was by Al Musitano, and today we are interviewing Bodie
Valdez.
And he is a solo musician, but he also works with a group of two to three times a month, the Hoodoos. But today we are interviewing Bodie. Hi, welcome to Culture Coast.
Hi.
All right, so let's get, we'll start at the beginning.
Sure.
You, I heard about you over at Motorworks, where
Yes.
you're playing. Are you playing there regularly right now, or was that a one-time?
Yeah, I've been doing alternating Thursdays over there for the past couple months, the solo. And then the other night we had the band in. Of course, they kind of called us up to kind of do St. Patty's Day for them.
Oh, nice.
Kind of a neat surprise paycheck. You know,
very nice.
And we were able to do it. That was the cool thing.
Yeah, that you weren't already booked.
The band was,
and everybody was available. So, when you first got started in music, how old were you? Are you from a musical family? How did you come to become a musician?
Well, you know, my dad, my dad played guitar. He, always had one around, and so I listened to him.
Did he play out at all, or was it just as a hobby?
Yeah, he played in the church. He was actually a preacher at one point in his life.
Okay.
But so I, but I kind of grew up with my mom. They were separated, and I was living out on Longboat Key when I got.
So were you born here in Florida?
No, actually, I was. I'm from Arizona. My family, my mom moved us here from Arizona when I was turning 8 years. I was 8 years old.
So your first 8 years you're from Arizona, but the rest of your life has been here locally.
Yeah, for the most part. Less some military time. I was in the Army for 4 years. And
well, hey, you get to travel.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah, I got sent to Alaska to freeze to death up there for a kid growing up around here.
Yeah, growing up. Your father was playing at home as a hobbyist.
Yeah.
So when did you pick up the
Well,
first instrument?
really,
And was it always the guitar?
No, actually, I'll tell you, really what got me started in music without a question was a Muddy Waters record. A friend of mine that my mom was dating when I was about to turn 11 years old. Had a collection of a record collection, and of course, you know, the hippie kids that we were at the time, we were listening to, you know, Deep Purple and whatever else was the music of the day. Yeah, exactly. and all that, and of course, I'd been exposed to a lot of music. But no, I heard my first Muddy Waters record. It was a blues. It was a compilation on the Chess series. I heard Little Walter playing the harmonica, and I didn't really know what it was because I thought it was a saxophone. And I recall telling Clint, the fellow, I said, you know, that's the weirdest saxophone I ever heard. And he began to explain to me that it was not a saxophone, that it was a harmonica, and he explained to me the techniques of how it was played with an old an old announcer's mic and put through a tube amp. And he knew a bit of the history. He was into blues music a lot. So he talked to me about that. I knew right then, I was just convinced. I was like, you know, that's one of these days I want to go to Chicago and hear some of these greats. And as I learned more about the history, you know, stuff, and knew where Chicago blues was coming from and where Muddy was at the time.
So your first instrument was the harmonica then?
Yeah. I started playing harmonica, and I was, you know, just devoted to it, really. You know, I wore the grooves out on those old records. He got me, you know, he explained to me inevitably there was I began to understand more about it and learned that there was you needed more than one harmonica because there was some of the stuff I couldn't figure it out by ear as I began to develop my ear. And he told me to learn one of the tips he gave me at the time, which I tell other kids and other people, if you will, they're trying to learn. To this day, I tell them, learn all the nursery rhymes that you could think of, you know, from Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star
Mary
to
Had a Little Lamb.
Mary Had a Little, all that. It just kind of helps develop your ear for the music that you're attempting to play. And once you can do those, then begin to embellish it a little bit. Put a little blues
Zip
to it,
there.
or put something on it and make it a little more your own. And then inevitably,
I've heard recently that the rock groups, the heavy metal groups, have been doing nursery rhymes.
Nursery rhymes.
That's something that they're making right now. That
Yeah.
they're making records of nursery rhymes, but you can't tell that's what it is because they've changed it so much.
Some kid doing screamo to a nurse to Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. But no, that got me interested, and I was the kind of kid that even when I was in high school, I just was the guy that was. The other kids were over there having their smoke breaks, if you will, at lunch recess and stuff, and I was the kid that was over leaning against a palm tree trying to work on the harmonica that I had listened to that morning before I went to school, and I couldn't wait to get home to put the records back on to just try to learn to play these songs.
Very cool. And always on the harmonica. So when the garage bands were all playing, they weren't really pulling you in because they're looking for guitar, drums.
Yeah, for the
organ.
most part. Yeah, fortunately I kind of was able to sing at a young age because of the church and stuff. I had some voice lessons when I was from one of
the churches teach voice.
I
know they have a lot of choruses.
Well, the
and
church
choirs,
I went to, there was a lady that kind of took me under the wing, and she recognized that I had some ability, so she started trying to nurture a little. Mrs. Carmichael at the time was her name, and so she would get on the piano and show me to help
how to
out a little, so.
emote and get it out there. So you're finished in high school. Did you take any music courses in high school?
No. I was a horrible student. I was.
But you could have taken music.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah, I should have. Really, hindsight's 20/20. You know, as they say. I mean, to this day, I've been flirting with the concept. Even recently, I've been thinking that I should go over to the college here and start taking some music classes just so I could learn to read and write what I play. And I write songs, but I do it out of chord structure and
your ear.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that might you would almost need to learn how to write it out so that you can put it on paper and copyright it.
Yeah, well, nowadays they have all these programs, and that's another thing. It's so there's avenues of learning that are just not available when I was a kid. It's just so amazing.
Right,
what the kids,
you don't have to go to the school to learn how to do what you need to do.
Well, now you can plug in a program, your guitar, for instance, or a keyboard or an instrument, if you will, for the most part, into a computer, and they have programs that as you play the notes, even one note, it will chart it for you and actually write out the music. So it's almost a no-brainer. I mean, if you know how to work the program, so I think the youngsters at this day and age have an extreme advantage. There's no reason, no excuses. If you want to do it, there's so many avenues. You probably don't have to work.
You don't have to go find a teacher.
No.
You can learn it from the
Oh, you can
computer.
learn everything from the internet now. It's crazy what they've got out there. These YouTube videos.
As long as you've got the desire and keep at it.
Yeah, I think for the young people, they got to get their minds off of all the games that distract them and do something more educational that's going to be great for your brain. Do something for your future and have the vision. Just develop the vision.
And do stuff that you really, really enjoy doing. Whether it's math, science,
Absolutely.
Music, art, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
It's all the information's there. They
Absolutely.
look and seek.
Yeah, even now, I mean, I'm big on History Channel and PBS and stuff like that. I don't really like to waste a whole lot of time absorbing things they're not uplifting to my.
So when did you start making a living? As how long has that been? Did you have a regular career first as an EMT?
Yeah. Well, what happened inevitably, by the time I got to be around 19 years old, I was getting pretty doggone good at the harmonica. I had an opportunity that was missed to go play music for Dickie Betts and the Great Southern. When he first started the Great Southern, he brought down Frankie and Danny Toler to form that group. Those were my heroes. They grew up around here.
Yes,
as
did.
far as the Allman Brothers, and so
by the time I was 19,
by the time I was 19, I was actually starting to play and front some blues bands and sing. Kind of went from there. I was just
when did you go into service?
I went into service when I was around I went into service in 1980.
And you were there for 4 years?
I did 4 years, yeah.
4 years. Mm-hmm. So now you get out of the service and you do 3 more years as an EMT.
Yeah.
But you're still playing
even
up there?
Up there, yeah. I was in bands up in Anchorage, Alaska. A friend of mine played a lot of Zeppelin songs, and we would, and we would do some blues based
Zeppelins.
stuff.
I'm just, I'm having a
Zeppelin had some great songs. Zeppelin had some songs like we did blues, and blues, like Muddy said, the blues had a baby and named the baby rock and roll. I mean, it all comes from
and
that.
Now you were telling me something about going to Chicago, that you were so obsessed with the harmonica. Yeah. How old were you when you went there?
Well, even then, like I said, so Howell Music up there had a band, and I've always operated as the Hoodoos, so there's been various incarnations of the Hoodoos through the years. And so I was doing a lot of shows up there, playing a lot. I ended up getting involved in it was a jammer competition, essentially, for like a couple states up there. And it led me to an opportunity to go to Summerfest, which is one of the really big festivals in Milwaukee. It goes on for a couple weeks every year. And I competed there and won the harmonica and horns division, if you will. And that led me to some other opportunities. I found myself in Chicago, which I was going, and I met a guy named Charlie Love out of Chicago. He's a kind of a cornerstone in the whole Chicago scene. He's been playing at Kingston Mines for probably 25 years or something. He had a regular gig there. And so Charlie kind of took me under his wing and got me in with the harmonica playing and got me involved, and just introduced me to a lot of local guys. And that's a very tight-knit group. You almost have to have somebody bring you into the circle because that money's locked in. Downtown money, they don't give that up. Those old guys they've all, Billy Branch, one of the great harmonica players, and those cats are all they've known each other. They grew up together. So, but anyway, I got involved.
Got into it.
Yeah, and it brought me in the circle.
Now, does that put you in with them now?
Charlie got me in the circle of some people up there, and Buddy Guy's drummer Timmy Austin plays with Charlie when he's not on the road with Buddy, and so every time he comes to town, so that led me to meet Timmy, and Timmy made an introduction to Buddy Guy on my behalf, and Buddy invited me up to go to Chicago in '07 and play harmonica with him, and it's just just things. It's kind of like how you.
At the time, you didn't realize it was special.
Yeah.
And then as you grew older,
well, as a kid, I did. My dream as a kid was just to go to Chicago and hear some of these guys. I never realized that
to be one of them,
to be focused on it. That the universe, if you will, would give me the opportunity because of my vision and dreams to get a chance to be I played the Chicago Blues Fest on 2 different occasions with Charlie, and in '07 we were on the Gibson stage, which was great. A lot of free strings. They hook up your guitars and send you home with big guys. It was kind of cool. Little perk. But and then '08 we got to open up for B.B. King, which was the 25th anniversary of the Chicago Blues Festival, and I found myself on this stage looking at all the
starstruck.
Yeah, I was just looking at all the buildings, before on the sound check. I'm standing out there and just looking at just going, really thank you to my Creator that that this all was happening.
Good grief! How did I ever get here?
Yeah, I mean, I remember having this moment. I stood on the stage and just looked around. I was just like, wow, thank you to the God of my understanding for this opportunity, because this is like.
Yes.
As I was a kid, I mean, I always wanted to come up here and see the guys. I did.
Never thought you'd be playing or opening for them.
Yeah, I'm opening,
Wow.
I'm opening for B.B. King on the 25th anniversary. It was really a blast. My favorite performer, female person right now, and I just think she's just amazing. I went with her to compete in Memphis in 2014. I won the solo duo competition for the Suncoast Blues Society, doing fingerstyle acoustic guitar, and she is Betty Fox. And Betty Fox is just, oh my gosh, she's just...
So you've also put together here locally, now that you've come back here. Did you start right away when you came back doing music?
Immediately, yeah.
So it's your day job.
Yeah, at one point I actually moved out. In the interim there in the middle, after my military time, I went through a divorce. I had moved out to Texas for about 4 years, and I played with a group called TC and the Cannonballs out there, and they were highly connected. TC was highly connected to the Vaughn brothers, because Doyle Bramall, the drummer who co-wrote a lot of songs with Stevie, was basically, they used to practice in TC's mom's garage up in Dallas, so they were all kind of grew up, and whenever Stevie Ray released his first record, TC and the Cannonballs went down to Austin to open up for him.
So you really just, other than your stint doing EMT stuff in Alaska, you have always made your living playing.
I've always supplemented my income playing. I did, and now the 3 years out, almost 4 years out in Texas, that's all I did was play music.
People get that lucky that they get to live their passion.
Yeah.
They usually have to do it in their spare time, or and work their day job, and when they retire, they get to do it. Yeah. But you've managed to include it most of your life.
The way, and there was other things that were
being on the road.
Yeah,
you can't really do that when you're raising girls.
Yeah, and that was the thing with my daughters. That's why I ended up getting back from Texas and inevitably got custody of my daughters, because the situation was not healthy for them. And I weighing this, what was happening. I'm like, well, I've been out in Texas. I played music with Willie Nelson and been hanging with Steve. All these, all these other things have been happening. But on the other side of the coin, my daughters have been kind of growing up without their dad around, and it just was. That was when I finally came to the realization that I needed to,
balance your life.
Yeah, I was out of balance. That's what it was. There was the yin, but there was not missing the yang, if you will. So I got back home. I just decided to come back home. I said, I'll just put a new band. I'll put my own band together here when I get back, and long-term connection. So I did.
All right. So you put together a new Hoodoos.
Yeah.
And how did you choose those people that you wanted to play with you?
Well, great music connections through growing up here. So I immediately just kind of fell back on some connections that I had and talked to friends. And I've always, been in and out of town and had my kind of finger on the pulse of what was happening on the scene. So I just gathered up some fellas that were ready to work and needed to work. And
this was how many years ago now?
Let's see. What do you mean? Returning from Texas or returning from Wisconsin?
Returning from Texas.
Texas, I got back here in '93.
And have you been here ever since?
Less taken off and running to Wisconsin for
the schooling,
for the schooling for
so
and all along I was practicing guitar. Like I said, I got my first guitar when I was around 16. And I've just been inevitably what happened was it was kind of osmosis. Just kept pushing through the pain of the cramps in my fingers and the palm of your hand and all the stuff that happens when you're trying to learn to play guitar. And I would my downtime, at that point I felt pretty proficient with my harmonica playing, so it wasn't like I would practice that. So I just the guitar kind of took over, my practice schedule, if you will, kind of took over on the guitar versus
So you're
harmonica.
Doing both the harmonica and the guitar.
I was playing harmonica, but I was practicing guitar. I didn't really need to felt like I needed to practice the harmonica because I was working, playing it,
Now, who are these guys you play with in the Hoodoos now?
The current band, I have a fellow, my drummer, the good guy, Charles Steptoe. We call him Steppy. He's amazing. He was part of the house band of the Apollo Theater for many years. He's played with guys from, you could name it, from Motown. He's worked with them at one point or the other. He was part of the Temps.
And your other?
And then I've got a bass player, Henry Hart, who is just a great bass player. And he was actually a horn player in James Brown's band at one point.
Very cool.
So it's kind of crazy. And then Eric Infield, the keyboard player that works, I love these guys, they're all pros. And Eric played on riverboats out of St. Louis for over 20 years, doing like 3 shows a day, 6 days a week. So he can play anything.
So you only play with them a few times a month because the circuit in this area, local area, doesn't really.
It's just Eric works a lot. They're full-time musicians. Eric's a full-time musician. They all are essentially.
So they're doing their solos during the week,
and then
you
they
guys
have other
get
projects as well. And I kind of have to book shows, 2 or 3 months out to make sure that we can all
get
be
together
on
at the same
schedule.
time.
But we love working together, and it's a blast. I pretty much can throw songs at them that I want to do, and they just either will, with the internet nowadays, we'll load some stuff up to a Dropbox and listen to it, and then we just kind of work out. We just do it. It's not really a big deal. It's just
so you're not practicing a whole bunch of times a month. And
no, we don't. I don't. Frankly, I think we've had 3 practices in the 5 years we've been together.
Okay. And that was to learn new stuff that one person came up with.
Yeah, original.
Like you've got some songs.
Yeah, original.
You've got
stuff,
original songs you've written. They would have to get together to.
Absolutely, that's a whole different thing. But most of the blues music is most of it's about the groove or the bass line and that.
And how many CDs do you have out there for sale, and where are they for sale?
Okay, my solo acoustic project that I just handed to you there, and right now it's only on eBay. I'm just kind of I have a website, BodieValdez.com.
But you're not on CD Baby or any of those sites?
No, I haven't really done that. It's kind of new, the whole project here, and
So this is a solo.
This
is a solo CD,
project.
and we're going to hear a solo from you. But you've got people backing you up, correct?
There's a couple people. Yeah, there's there's a wonderful girl by the name of Danny Jane that plays fiddle on a couple songs. On the title cut, Dangerous Man, which is really a song about music life and kind of dedicated to Dan Toler, who you know as well, Dangerous Dan Toler, who passed away recently. But then Amanda Gertula is another fiddle player out of St. Petersburg, a wonderful player, is accompanying me on some songs. And I had a trumpet player on the title cut, which is really different. Bob Shapiro, he's an amazing trumpet player.
Have you noticed over the last few years that maybe the music scene is growing in this area? That there are far more opportunities for people than there used to be, even though the club scene is not so much, but there's more and more festivals and things that they're getting pulled into.
Florida is rich with festivals when it comes to blues music, and just festivals in general. I think from Wani Fest on, there's certainly a really blossoming blues scene in Florida. I think a lot of that has to do with the various societies. The Suncoast Blues Society, one of the premier ones that.
And the Blues Magazine is located right here now too.
And that's the other thing. We've got Blues Magazine that moved right into the village here. So that's fantastic. I get to go over and tour the facility. It's just crazy. I haven't been over there.
So if somebody wants to buy one of your CDs, where should they go?
Definitely on eBay.
And just look up your name.
Yes.
And it's Bodie
Valdez.
So BODIE.
Yes.
VALDEZ.
Yep.
Okay, so Bodie Valdez, and they can hear some of your music, and they're going to hear a piece right after the show. Thank you for being on Culture Coast.
You're very, very welcome, Donna. Thank you for kicking the time.
I know your legend will live on the wind blows, sand against the windows of your mind. Looking out I can see the pitfalls of the hurricanes and tornadoes that have blown through this time. Somehow we're still around, and I understand how you became a dangerous man. A dangerous man, a dangerous man, a dangerous man, dangerous man. Well, I did most of my living on the dark side. I slept through each day of sunshine. I became the night. All the smells and the sounds of the late life. The music would call me to the stage lights for another ride in another time. And I understand how you became a dangerous man. A dangerous man, a dangerous man, dangerous man, dangerous man. So if we see you moving slow, we'll just step aside. The guitar's harder in the spotlight than it ever was. So the story goes, and when it's told, I understand how you became a dangerous man, a dangerous man, a dangerous man. I practiced hard and I listened well. I reached for the cards and somehow I drew a lucky hand. And I understand how I became a dangerous man, a dangerous man, a dangerous man, dangerous man, a dangerous man.
Nightmares, frightful visions during the night, causing terror and loss of sleep. Daymares, frightful visions during the day, causing fear and paranoia. Gothmares, gothic visions that can happen anytime, causing horror and disgust. But sometimes they offer answers. Read Gothmares if you dare. Gothmares, a young adult novel by Al Musitano, available on Amazon and fine bookstores everywhere.
Village of the Arts, the largest artist colony in the state of Florida, located on 42 acres, includes artists, homes, galleries, gardens, and restaurants featuring handcrafted gifts, fine art sculptures, painting, photography, enviro art, healing arts, books, mystics, and musical variety. A few of the galleries are unique in their offerings. Village Voices specializes in books and art created exclusively by Florida residents. The Dancing Crane Gallery offers fine art, custom jewelry, and unique, innovative art. The Village Mystic offers all things metaphysical: meditation, massage, mediums, aromatherapy, psychics, shamans, Reiki healing, and the gem mine, where you can mine for your own personal treasure. Yoga Arts offers classes or one-on-one coaching. Musicians and bands can be found throughout the area. Many of the artists and musicians offer classes. Restaurants and bakeries provide respite for the weary and magic for the foodies. Visit during the first Friday Art Walk and stroll through the shops and galleries enjoying free appetizers, wine, music, and demonstrations. For hours and information, please visit the website at www.villageofthearts.com. DNA Video Productions is a full-service video producer with a fleet of drones, 4K, and HD cameras, as well as a crew of video operators. We handle commercial and residential real estate videos, as well as events for promotional purposes. We create book trailers, both live-action and running stills, music videos, and website videos. We also film series shorts for online distribution and are currently involved in filming a political parody. We specialize in low-cost movie making. Call DNA Video Productions at 941-748-6865 or visit our website at www.dnavideoproductions.com. That's www.dnavideoproductions.com. Thank you.